Hello YouTube, how are we all doing today? This is Cheeky Creations here and I've got a ranking video for you. This time we're going to be ranking all the Marvel Avengers films from worst till best. Let's begin. At the bottom of the list is Avengers Age of Ultron. Don't get me wrong, I didn't think Avengers Age of Ultron was a bad film. I actually thought it was quite a good film, a good follow-up and a good way to up from its predecessor. The only reason why I have it as bottom of the list is because it didn't really do much to make things new. Alongside that, the charm of the first Avengers film was just unreal, and what followed it afterwards, Infinity War and Endgame, just made Age of Ultron go at the bottom of the list. But saying that though, I do have a lot of praise for this film. I like how Ultron was a very good villain. I thought he was very well done and made him a mistake of the hero's part than just some random guy that wants to just take over the world. It was the birth of Vision, and it was like the stepping stone and beginning of what the MCU would become post Age of Ultron, with Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, and all those films that followed right after it. So yeah, I definitely put Age of Ultron there at the list. Good film, but the other three were just better. Following that is the first Avengers film. You know, I won't lie, when the first Avengers film came out, I wasn't very hyped for it. I thought it was just a stupid knockoff like the Alien vs Predator films, just something to give fans love. This was before I really started to understand how the MCU worked and it was a thing. But I watched it in the cinema and I loved it. It was one of my favourite cinema experiences ever. And I've watched the film like countless times over my life, and I will watch it continuous more countless times. And what I liked about the first Avengers film was how it didn't just make the Avengers become besties and start working together immediately. It built up to things. It allowed time and trust for the Avengers to develop. They had their own little conflicts, and then before you know, they all came together to take out the bigger threat, which was Loki. And I thought the action sequences were done very good, especially the Battle of New York. So yeah, Avengers was definitely up there, and I think it was the most important Marvel film to date, because that was going to be the determination whether the Marvel Cinematic Universe would work. Because prior to that, we just had solo films. Following that is Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame, you know, I love Avengers Endgame. It was a really good film. It was the film I was the most hyped for. It was worth the 3 hours I watched. I liked how all the little subplots allowed each character to explore their own personal story arcs. However, the only thing that I would say put it below Infinity War was the fact that I think it relied on more the charm of the older films and a bit of nostalgia than really doing something more original, which it was original, but bit of nostalgia. It was like scenes we've already seen from previous films, most of it, other than that final battle sequence. So yeah, that's why I would say I put Avengers Endgame below Infinity War, but very good film though. Loved the ending, and Marvel hasn't been the same since. Finally, to top this list, I'm going to have to say Avengers Infinity War is my favourite Avengers film of all time. Reason being for that is because everyone had their moment to shine. Everyone had their own little story arc. No one was just on the side. Everyone had their big moment in the film. And had multiple character arcs all come together for this one big battle. And it was just very well done. It was one of the first times in Marvel since Civil War we've seen the heroes lose. And we were like in the cinema thinking, what's going to happen next? How are they going to come back from this? So yeah, Avengers Infinity War, number one on my list. Definitely one of my favourite Marvel films of all time. I'm definitely going to be doing a tier list for all the MCU films ranked from worst to best. And I can't wait for Doomsday and Secret Wars. I wonder what they're going to do with that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for future videos. Bye!